Drug lord, narco trafficker. Even if you don't know what a narco trafficker means or what a narco trafficker does, you can probably gather it's not a good thing. Nothing good seems to end with the word trafficker. For example, sex trafficker, human trafficker, narco trafficker. It doesn't sound amazing, right? Most often, it's not. However, for one famous narco trafficker, he was actually a good person, just masked by 100,000 pounds of cocaine. So, the purpose of my speech is to highlight the reasons why Pablo Escobar had such a negative connotation and to bring to light why Escobar was cherished by thousands in his hometown in Colombia. So when most people think about the drug cartel, their minds quickly wander to the big ones. For example, Pablo Emilio Escobar Guevara was a famous drug lord, and he didn't exactly leave the best impression on people from the outside. However, once you learn about him, you quickly learn that he actually did good in his community and helped the lives of thousands of people living in poverty in Colombia. So Pablo Escobar, also known as the King of Cocaine, rules the cocaine cartels and monopolized the trade into the United States. At the time of his death, Escobar was worth approximately $58 billion. Escobar began his drug career shortly after becoming enrolled at the Universidad Autónoma Latino America of Medellin. However, he left shortly after becoming enrolled and began to participate in illegal activities. He decided to start selling drugs, selling fake lottery tickets, and stealing cars. And it was in 1970 when Escobar officially began to work for his first drug dealer. In 1976, Escobar decided that he had enough of working for other people, so he decided to start his own drug cartel known as the Medellin Cartel. The Medellin Cartel distributed cocaine and was known for establishing the first smuggling routes into the United States. Escobar's drug cartel began to monopolize the trading into the US, and that resulted in the deaths of police officers, judges, prominent politicians, and a couple civilians. His cartel is also the reason why Colombia became known as the highest murder capital of the world. However, in 1982, Escobar was elected as a member of the Chamber of Representatives as a part of a liberal alternative movement. Because of this election, Escobar became responsible for community projects such as building low-income housing and creating football fields for the youth of Colombia. And these community projects are a huge reason why Escobar gained popularity among the Colombian locals. Throughout his life, Escobar was a hero to many in Medellin. He did many good things throughout his life in order to better his community while also making billions of dollars selling cocaine to the United States of America. So throughout his life, he worked to create goodwill among the poor people in Colombia. He was credited with building football fields and multi-purpose courts, as well as funding and sponsoring children's athletics. He was also responsible for the construction of housing and apartment buildings designated for low-income families of Colombia. And in addition to creating housing himself, he was a big donor to housing projects and other civic activities in Colombia. Escobar was so well liked in the Colombian community that regular civilians were willing to risk their lives in order to help Escobar escape capture from the DEA and from the police. Civilians often served as lookouts or hid information from the police in order to help Escobar get away with all of his illegal activities. And Escobar's legacy is widely controversial today. With over 20 years following his death in 1993, he's still talked about. Escobar was popularly seen as a Robin Hood-like figure for many people in Colombia, especially among the impoverished. Throughout his life as a drug dealer, he provided many amenities to the poor, and in turn, his funeral was attended by over 25,000 people. His estate, Hacienda Napoles, was transformed into a theme park, and he also served as the inspiration for many popular movies, TV shows, and music. He was the basis of about two major feature films known as Escobar and Killing Pablo, and the basis of at least 8 famous books, mostly written in the 20th century. Today, many of the poor people of Medellin in Colombia still pray to Escobar and hope for help from above. So in conclusion, Pablo Escobar is mostly thought of as a villain. However, to many in Colombia around the world, he's a hero. He worked to create athletic programs for the kids, create housing for the homeless, and funded low-income housing projects. Though his legacy has stuck around for more than 20 years and is still widely taught in classrooms and all around America, he is still commonly perceived as a villain rather than a hero that he truly is.